Bitcoin is preparing for the next major directional move. We're going to discuss how a breakout of the current range could determine the directional move for Bitcoin over the next coming weeks. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. We're here to discuss Bitcoin and the price action which we're seeing between 23,600 and 25,200. This major horizontal consolidation range will be the range that determines the next directional move for Bitcoin. A break toward the upside will confirm a macro uptrend, resulting in a break above the 50 EMA and the 200 moving average on the macro charts, confirming an uptrend. And of course, a break below 23,600 will confirm the rejection at that same point, confirming a continuation back toward the downside. So a whole heap rests on what happens between the current range, and we're going to talk about when we'll see confirmation, what we expect to happen, and what you can expect for price targets on either side of that. Without further ado, we'll get into it, but go ahead and smash the like button, hit the comment button, obviously subscribe to the channel guys. We do daily videos, not only for Bitcoin guys, not only for cryptocurrency. We also talk about market data, we also talk about the broader markets and economic data in our videos, so go ahead and subscribe if you're interested in all of that. We also do have a Telegram channel you can go ahead and get access to via that second link down below. Charts, updates, videos, analysis, educational posts, news events, and economic data is posted in here. If you're interested in trading, you can join our trading channel. This is our main channel over here. You can find all the information over here and our trading track record. You'll also get access to our exclusive group chat with all of our VIP members. We have just over 500 VIP members now, where we do daily trading signals as well and exclusive altcoin trades in there as well. So go ahead and contact me for more information, and of course sign up to Bitget where we trade for 15% off your trading fees. Let's get into the video. Starting off with market data, February is up 3.86%. Not a whole lot of price action this month. We've had a lot of consolidation. We've seen some larger swings. There's been a little bit more volatility, but all in all, if we look at February for a month, we have had most of this month within this consolidation range, right? We saw a lot of Feb down over here within sideways consolidation. We had an explosive breakout, bit of volatility, and now we're back in sideways consolidation. Again, for the month, we're up around 3.86%. Nothing too extreme for the month, considering last month was like a 30% month. Absolutely insane. Anyway, volume is down. We're looking at 7%. We're under 100 billion, and volatility and liquidations are down 16%. Liquidations have, of course, plateaued around this 2.63% range. We are looking to stop up around over here. And of course, like we said, liquidations have been a little choppy in the last few days. We have seen longs and shorts liquidated. And you can see over here, both longs and shorts have been getting wrecked. Again, this is pretty much standard within these chop zones, within these larger horizontal consolidations, where we very much have equal amounts of buying and selling from the bulls and the bears, and a lot of indecision. We do generally see both sides end up getting chopped up. Pretty standard stuff. Let's talk about the broader market. So DXY is on the climb. It is heading up to the 105 area. We are looking for 105 as that next target for a breakout. If you do remember, we've been telling you guys ever since we bounced over here, we were expecting that DXY to rally. We did rally to our first target. We rallied to our second target. Our next target is going to be 105. We're looking for a potential top out on the DXY over here. If we do reach that level, we could potentially see some relief in the markets. But if the DXY continues upwards here, considering where Bitcoin is, considering where the stock market is, we aren't looking too great, guys. We aren't looking too great. Look at that Dow Jones over here. The Dow Jones has broken down from a symmetrical triangle formation, obviously confirming that breakout. But daily close below, we're looking at our first target, which was 33,000. We ticked that off. Our next target is, of course, 32,000. S&P 500 reaching our first target from that breakdown over here, guys. We did, in fact, reach that 4,000 support. We have closed a daily candle above the trend line again, but the current daily candle looks like it has opened up below. This could be a potential support resistance flip. If we do close this daily candle below 4,000, that will confirm the next move toward the downside and will not be very good for the broader markets and potentially for Bitcoin. Looking at the 2-year government bonds, we can see these are on the rise, actually making a local high here on the 2-day chart in terms of the candle body. We are potentially moving upwards here, and if this does continue to rise, we'll definitely see the DXY continue upwards. and that can drag that can definitely drag the stock market down, and more importantly, drag Bitcoin down. So definitely something to look at while Bitcoin is at major resistance. So let's talk about this resistance, guys. This resistance is an absolutely important resistance. It's probably one of the most strong and important resistances on the chart we have faced for a long time. This is probably, I'm going to say this is the strongest and most significant resistance we have faced on Bitcoin since we entered that bear market. So we're looking at the time over here, guys, looking at the date range for 465 days. This is the most significant resistance we have actually tackled on the Bitcoin chart. And this resistance has now stood for about 254 days. So a very, very long time standing resistance over here. And again, these strong resistances can provide incredibly strong bases of support if they are reclaimed. So looking at a horizontal level, guys, this resistance spans up to around 25,200 and it drops all the way down. We're looking at the next range around 23,600 as the support. But the main chunk of resistance is sitting around 24,300 to 25,200. Within that range, that is where we have this increased surge of trading volume and generally increased amount of resistance. We can see that this is major resistance as soon as the price action is able to get above 25,200, we have an absolutely significant, massive drop off in historical trading volume over here, signifying we're entering a low resistance range over here, which will facilitate a continuation upwards for Bitcoin toward $28,000 if we are able to get above it. And this is why it's such an important resistance, because if we are able to push above it, we're going to see an aggressive continuation in Bitcoin's price action on the short term and the larger time frame. On the larger time frame, it also stands as the 200 moving average resistance on the weekly and the 50 EMA resistance on the monthly. Both the weekly and the monthly are closing their candles within 7 days. The monthly is closing in 4, and of course the weekly is closing in 2. It's going to be very interesting to see how these weekly candle closes. So they close under these levels. It can confirm rejections from these points, and that will make it even harder to break back above this 25k range, facilitating a continuation downwards. So currently Bitcoin is moving within the current range we are seeing on the screen over here. And this of course is going to be our horizontal consolidation range. This is a major horizontal consolidation. It's been lasting between 2 weeks, and we have been moving between two major points of both support and resistance. Like I said before, guys, a break above this resistance range will facilitate a continuation upwards on the larger time frame to 28 to potentially 30,000. However, for a confirmation of that, we're going to have to see a weekly candle close above 52,500 to get that confirmation, as that would confirm the break and close above the 200 moving average on that weekly chart, guys. Okay, for a confirmation toward the downside, we don't need a weekly close. What we need is at least looking for a 4-hour close below this trend line for confirmation of a rejection and continuation toward the downside. The reason we're looking for a smaller time frame close is because this support range is not a 254 days support or resistance, which as the 25,000 and 25,200 is a massive yearly long resistance. So there's larger time frame resistances that span larger time frames. We do need a little bit more confirmation, therefore we need higher time frame breaks. These smaller, shorter time frame supports that haven't been developed very long, we can get away with these smaller time frame breaks. So a 4-hour close below 23,600 is going to confirm the breakdown, and a weekly close above 25,200 is going to confirm a breakup. For a breakdown, our next targets are going to be these support ranges. We're looking at these red boxes. So look at 22,500. Okay, this is going to be the base of support of the range we developed over here. We're looking at 21,500. Again, the base of support over here and the local high that we printed over here between this current horizontal consolidation range that we had prior to the price action. So we're looking at those targets. Moving toward the downside from there, guys, we're looking at ranges in the VRPV. So past 22,500, past 21,500, we're looking at 20,000 horizontal psychological support, that whole number, and then we're coming back down to take a look at this VRPV range, 19,000 to 19,200, and finally the local high here, 18,300, if we do come down. There's no guarantee we're coming down, and there's definitely no guarantee if we do come down, we're going to be reaching every single one of these targets. For a continuation to these lower levels, we do need to lose 21,500, and as you will see in the short-term time frame here, 21,500 is going to be quite the major support again, okay? So we do have a breakdown, major support over here before we get that macro continuation toward the downside. Here's the thing, any sort of rejection from here toward and above 21,500 will still keep the Bitcoin price action in a higher time frame uptrend, okay? This of course will be a short-term downtrend. We're looking at a couple weeks, maybe a month at best, okay? But if we're looking at the larger time frame, guys, to see a macro crash towards 20, towards 19, towards 18 and new lows, we do need to lose the local low printed at 21,500. That will be required to be lost for that continuation downwards. Let's go ahead and do a macro analysis and short-term analysis and talk about the price action. I wanted to briefly interrupt today's video to discuss my favorite exchange, Bitget. If you're looking for a safe, honest, reliable, and accurate exchange, look no further than Bitget. You can sign up by the link in the description to support the channel and get access to 3 exclusive perks. That being up to $5,005 in trading rewards, up to 15% discount on your trading fees, and exclusive access to our MegaWhale promotion campaigns that we run every few months. Alongside that, guys, Bitget is a non-KYC exchange, meaning you do not have to KYC. It is completely optional. Bitget also has a protection fund that secures user assets against external hacks and threats in the space. Alongside that, guys, Bitget offers up to 125x leverage on futures with extensive amount of trading pairs and liquidity on the market. I highly recommend signing up to Bitget. It is the exchange I've been using for over a year and a half now, including all of our members. If you're interested in signing up, trading there, and supporting the channel, you can do so with the link in the description. Thanks for listening. Okay guys, let's get into our technical analysis for Bitcoin. We'll go ahead and start off on a smaller time frame, and as we can see, again, Bitcoin has come down to retest support, and therefore when we're at support, we should be looking for indications of potential reversals and continuations upward, particularly when we are within horizontal consolidations. This is very much a neutral consolidation, right? There's no guarantee we're going up. There's no guarantee we're breaking down. We do have to wait for those triggers. Now, for a trigger and continuation confirmation toward the downside on the smaller time frame, we will be looking for a loss of this uptrending support. This black line over here, this uptrending support, a loss of that uptrending support on the hourly chart will confirm a retest and rejection back towards the lower area of the current support range at 23,600. Of course, like we said prior, if we do lose this level, on the higher time frames, on the 4-hour chart, we can expect a breakdown of this range to be confirmed and a continuation downwards. Until then, possible bounces and reversals back upwards to this range are definitely likely. And that is what we're going to do here on the technicals. We're going to discuss the probabilities of that. To do so, we do need to move down to quite a small time frame. Starting on the 30-minute chart, what are we seeing? Well, from a structural standpoint, guys, we have obviously got our uptrending support line over here. We do have a downward trending resistance line over here. So we can say no move toward the upside is going to be extending past this downward trending resistance until it breaks. This downward trending resistance is going to be meeting resistance around 24,200, which we can note to be a minor horizontal resistance in the prior price action that we have developed in this range. So a confirmation trigger for a move back up to 25,000 is going to occur on a second breakout above 24,200. From a technical standpoint, guys, we can see that momentum is starting to climb upwards over here on the RSI and once more on the market side of B, and we can also see that over here on the MACD. However, this momentum is not quite yet positive. It is still negative momentum. It is strengthening negative momentum, or should I say weakening negative momentum. So in essence, it is getting stronger. So we are building up some momentum over here. Again, a break above this level will trigger a move upwards, and a break below this level will trigger a move back towards the support, where we're either at that 4-hour close and confirmation of a breakdown or another bounce. Moving up to higher time frame, guys, going to a 4-hour chart. we can see that the MACD is flipping upwards over here. We have had significant downward price momentum in this range. Again, this consolidation range has been going on for quite some time, and while the price has been in this range, we have seen again bearish divergences pop up on the 3-day. We're seeing bearish divergences pop up on the daily, right? We're seeing decreasing momentum, and we're seeing rising price. So this is bearish divergence. We'll come back to that in a second. So back on that smaller time frame, guys, we have seen that. But here on the 4-hour, we can see that the momentum, negative momentum, is starting to flatten out a little bit. We are starting to get a little bit of weakness in this negative momentum, which could reverse and result in a reversal. Again, if the smaller time frame does build up strength and the smaller time frame breaks above 24,200, this will result in positive momentum flowing into the market, particularly on the 4-hour, on the 6-hour, and that could give the strength it needs for a bounce upwards. Until then, guys, negative momentum is still here on the MACD, on the 4-hour, on the market cipher B, and of course on the RSI. And if we do expand outwards from here, 6-hour, going outwards even more, 12-hour, and going outwards even more to the daily, we can see that is very much prevalent. On the daily chart, we are seeing strong bearish divergences over here, decreasing RSI, guys. Okay, you can see a decreasing trend line here, while we have that rising price action, very much a bearish divergence. You can see it once more in the MACD over here. In fact, the MACD just had a shift. We just had a crossover. Again, these crossovers indicate shifts in momentum. We have a downward trending momentum. So this is a positive trend, okay? This is positive momentum, but we have weakening positive momentum, and these shifts indicate points where we have a change in that short term. So the overall trend right now is negative, right? We have weakening momentum. The momentum is positive because it's above the 0 point. So we have positive weakening momentum. And within the short-term fluctuations, we went from strengthening positive to weakening positive. And again, on the MACD and the market cipher B, it shows us that. So we have weakening positive momentum here on the larger time frame, with a larger time frame divergence playing out. Again, if we do break down from that smaller time frame resistance, support level, at that point which we talked about, which was 23,600, all of these things are going to, I would say, exaggerate the breakdown and facilitate that continuation down towards these lower levels and potentially add some bearish strength to the rejection. But like I said already, guys, while we're at support, support is going to have to be deemed as support. If you want to check any kind of psychological bias you have, look at the chart, draw up your trend lines, and then invert the chart. How are we looking here? Are we at support? Are we at resistance? If you were at this point here, not knowing the price action, would you have bought that expecting a continuation upwards, or would you have sold that and expected a continuation downwards? Again, use that inverted scale. If you invert, it can shift the way the chart looks, and if you have developed any sort of subconscious bias based on what the chart looks like, which is very common for new traders, you can check your own biases and check your narratives. If your decision doesn't change based on the way the chart looks, based on the inversion of the chart, then your decision is a good decision. If you find yourself flip-flopping between, oh, I should buy, I should sell, and then you flip it, and then, oh, I should do the opposite, then you know your decision is less based on the data and more based on how it looks. And that is not how you're going to be good at trading. You're not going to hold, there's nothing to support your decisions based on anything rather than it just looks a certain way. And if it just looks a certain way, you may as well just trade on emotions, because everyone's going to have a different opinion on how things look. Okay, you can only trust the data. So let's go to the larger time frame, guys, and talk about Bitcoin one more time on this larger time frame. As we can see on the weekly chart, guys, we can see we are retesting the 200 moving average, like we said already. More importantly, we are testing the Gaussian channel, and the Gaussian channel has 2 points of rejections we look for. We look for bottom trend line rejection, so the bottom band rejection, and we look for the mid band rejection. If we break through from the downside upwards, okay, that bottom line, we're very likely, incredibly likely, okay, to move into the Gaussian channel towards the midline. Where is that midline sitting? By no coincidence, it is sitting between 30,000 and 28,000. Remember, guys, 30,000 to 28,000 is going to be that major ejection point over here that we will climb to if we break over 25.2K on the larger time frame. Again, this is going to be a major rejection point, because if we look at the chart over here, which is going to be the bull market chart, we can see that the 4-year cycle suggests if we break a monthly candle above the prior bull market bottom, we will see a bull market develop over the period of time. That bull market bottom for the last cycle is 30,000 to 29,000, and therefore a break over 25.2k could facilitate a retest of that range, and a retest of that range could facilitate the start of a bull market occurring on the macro chart. Very important stuff, guys. But until then, guys, decreasing momentum, loss of strength, horizontal consolidation, all these things at resistance do tell us we are going to reject. The DXY is, of course, rising. The bond yields are rising. The stock market is falling. All these things are very important in your analysis on the macro, but the uptrend is still intact. It's very important. The uptrend, as much as you hate it, the uptrend is still very much intact. And if we do get this break upwards, guys, we are going to see that continuation. If you do see over here a break toward the downside, will confirm those lower targets. And of course, a loss of this range will confirm a loss of this trend. So keep that in mind. Be aware, guys. Definitely the short-term range is incredibly important. Not something to be fading, not something to be ignoring. Watch this range. Keep it simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it. We are bouncing between major support, major resistance. We are losing strength. Okay, we are losing momentum. If we break upwards from this range, we're going to continue upwards. If we break downwards from this range, we are going to continue downwards. Think of it like a tug of war, okay? A tug of war. We have the bulls, should I say the bears, and we have the bulls. The bulls are trying to pull it down, okay? And the bears are trying to pull it up. Okay, whichever side wins, the other side will let go and it will pull them in the other direction, and the price will continue. Okay, so the bears wins, the price is going to move down. The bulls win, the price will move up, and the other opposing party will lose. So it will get liquidated, and their liquidations will fund that rally. Okay, anyway, guys, I'm going to leave the video. If you've got any questions, leave them down below. Join the Crypto Academy. 10-unit course. We teach you how to trade. We teach you everything you need to know how to trade. You can go ahead and get access to it via the Crypto Academy courses at gmail.com. Send us an email. We'll send you all information. That being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.